In 1989, the Socialist Republic of Romania was living its final hours under the dictatorship of Nicolae Ceausescu. The State Security Department had been working for several years on the investigation of clandestine Soviet facilities east of the city of Baku. In the summer of '89, a specialized military scientific team was formed with the objective of dismantling those facilities. After 3 weeks of work in August of the same year, a possible entrance was discovered in an abandoned cabin. The scientific team determined with certainty that it was a network of tunnels interconnected with some Ukrainian bunkers and possibly with the clandestine Soviet installation. In the 4th week of August, intervention took place at the cabin, securing the entrance and preparing for the next moves. On September 7th, a military convoy headed from the capital towards the outskirts of Baku to encircle the entire perimeter of the forest where the abandoned cabin was located. A heavily armed contingent accompanied a group of scientists whose mission was to take recordings at least 3 miles around, searching for any kind of anomaly or foreign espionage devices. The following photographs depict the initial images of entering the hole on the night of September 7th. The first section of the hole was approximately 40 meters deep. Although initially requiring rappelling equipment, the researchers soon discovered a long staircase that appeared to withstand the weight of the group. Upon reaching the bottom of the hole, the researchers encountered a rocky and damp tunnel that extended eastward for 500 meters. As they delved further underground, the tunnel widened and the first signs of human technological intervention emerged. At 433 meters, the cavern had already transformed into a bunker-like tunnel. The scientists reported a sulfur-like smell that began to permeate the entire area. However, they were unable to determine the origin of this peculiar odor. The tunnel suddenly came to an abrupt end at a single metal door, heavily reinforced but showing signs of corrosion. It took approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes of intervention to break it down after an initial study yielded inconclusive results about a black mass that seemed to harden the metal, enveloping it in irregular patterns. Once the team of scientists passed through the door, they found themselves in a very spacious room, with large pillars and an upper limit that easily reached 6 meters in height. The exploration of this grand room took about 30 minutes, during which the following photographs were taken. The areas were noticeably decayed, and the facility appeared to have been abandoned for many years based on its decrepit appearance. The black substance was present everywhere, and reports could not establish a clear origin, although it did not seem to be toxic or dangerous upon direct contact with the skin. The team continued to explore the area and decided to descend a series of stairs that led 5 floors below the main room. At a depth of 30 meters, the steps leading to adjacent corridors began to be engulfed by the black substance, and high-quality photographs were taken through a window inside some rusted cabinets. With a total of 74 meters descended from the surface, the team established themselves on what appeared to be the deepest floor of the so-called the first main zone. Tents were set up, and they proceeded to photograph and collect samples of the strange substances that inundated the entire floor. At the same time, a patrol investigated and photographed other rooms that appeared to be old offices and research laboratories. Some documents were found stacked in storage rooms, but unfortunately, their condition was deplorable, covered in mold, mud, and the black substance, rendering them unreadable. The team decided to use the 2 exploration robots they brought with them to investigate what appeared to be sewer tunnels. The objective was to remotely explore other areas further away from the old secret facility. After 3 hours of exploration, the research team arrived at a notably flooded sector, filled with rooms that seemed to contain organic waste inside. The scientists reported a strong smell of burned plastic and other volatile organic compounds. Exposure to the environment caused some fatigue, dizziness, and nausea, but strangely, these symptoms only lasted for a couple of minutes. When the researchers began to take samples from the soil, they found lumps of heavy weight covered in the black substance. Some were as hard as concrete. They were shocked when they identified a pair of apparently human bodies that were completely petrified, and they properly isolated them for further study. The conditions or processes that could have caused this state in the bodies remain unknown. However, there are suspicions regarding some machines that were found 171 meters southeast of the tents. While the team of scientists continued analyzing the samples obtained in the chambers, another group was tasked with exploring the southeast wing, which was designated as the machinery zone. Despite the significant distance from the petrified bodies, substances of similar nature were found both inside and outside, along the edges, of enormous drums that had long pipes extending from their 2 large openings, possibly for the disposal of large-scale waste. Some petrified masses were also discovered near this machinery, although it was not possible to determine whether they were human remains. At approximately 1:30 p.m., with entry to the underground facilities completely secured and the cabin dismantled by the military contingent, the communications team notified the base in the forest and the central office in Bucharest that the researchers had been out of contact for nearly 3 hours.